Hello, this is Kent Ketter with Hot Takes, all brought to you by Cardhoarder here. This is match one of our standard league with Temur Aetherworks. So, what do we got here? Lot of energy. If we hit the Marvel, I think we'll be in good shape. The downside is we don't have any dig effects. No, I think you have to keep hands like this. And it's really kind of difficult to learn decks like this really quickly is because is a hand like this good enough? Will this race kind of what most people are doing? I'm pretty heavily based on my need for Aetherworks Marvel, and as you note, I don't have it here. So is that really going to set me back, or is it going to be more of a, general downside? Okay, so that's actually a really big hit for us here. Let us go double. So, opponent looks like they're on mono red or probably just some kind of red aggro. Pretty good deck to play in the format. So let's see what we get here. I am interested to see if something like a Traverse the Uvenwald or the like could really put in some good work. So I'm going to discard the Ulamog here, and I'm going to discard one Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. Okay, so now we do have the opportunity for that turn 4 Marvel, which I think is pretty important for this matchup. The question is going to be do we hit off of it? And is that good enough? Apologies for that. We are getting ready for SCG Regionals this week, so actually doing a bunch of talking as far as the position we think we should be in, which decks are good, which decks are bad, that sort of thing. So, got the Facebook machine rolling. So, I think my opponent's just heavily incentivized to dump their hand. Regardless of, I think, the cards here, I think they want to just throw them at us and get some courier activations. Maybe their hand's already bad enough that it doesn't matter and they want the 5 fresh. But I think it's probably more likely that our opponent's going to post-combat cast a couple things. So we're definitely not going down next turn with... So 3 life here, 3 energy. We'll be able to just untap into Marvel. Pretty simple sequence here from our side of the table. My hope is that the first one just hits and we don't have to like untap and do some more. Let's see. Interesting. So our opponent just must have a really good hand here, and it's just okay with waiting, a decent amount of time. Okay, we have 6 targets left in the deck. You're going to be looking at 44 cards, top 6. well. That's actually a pretty good one. Okay. We're gonna lead on the Aetherworks Marvel. There's no reason we shouldn't here. So look at the top 6. Spin the wheel. Ooh, little hot Ulamog action. So let's actually... We'll select that. That'll get cast. We're going to take the Pia. Cast this one. Let's get both of these, actually. And the reasoning behind that is I really want to blow up the Pia Nolar, so obviously it can't force me to not block, but I want the Smoldering Marsh to try to limit my opponent's options on their turn. I'm actually okay if they want to go through a courier cycle to make a bunch of that happen. There's not really a singular card that punishes the Ulamog. It also sets up a nice K return next time around, so... I feel like if you have the turn 4 Marvel, the creature matchup is decent. You know, it's probably not great, but it's definitely in a position where you're like, oh, this isn't, you know, that bad. So if we can draw a 1 or 2 mana... Let's see... If I can draw a 1 or 2 mana energy generator, I can get a Nether activation out of my Marvel next turn. And yes, I understand my opponent here is going to very likely so that's a big attack from the opponent. The question is are they willing to kind of blow up some of this stuff? So what I think I want to do is I'm going to block one of these 3/3s here, maximize the amount of life I save. Actually, what I want to do is I'm going to block one of these, get my opponent to activate, probably get the smaller one to tuck. Yeah. Now, can I block here? So if I block here, I take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah, we're gonna block. We're gonna block here. We'll have to have some faith in our K return, making sure that the game doesn't get too far out of reach here. Okay, so play this. I actually am just going to K return here. The reason behind that is I want to clear the board and be able to crack in. Now the problem is with the crack is I might run into some issues where my opponent's going to have 5 cards, so that's actually a pretty big cost. But killing them in 2 turns is about as important. Oh. Wow, this is close. Well, I think I have to attack here. Being at 3 life and not 4 makes it where if my opponent drew anything, like even a volcanic hammer, we're in pretty big trouble. Try to see what our opponent's also working with on their side. It's actually kind of interesting how this is a 2-turn clock regardless. Okay. Well, we are dead to many things, but we're going to hope we get lucky. 1 Disintegration left, 3 Flows, and 2 Tempers left in their deck. They got a 6-card hand with 19 left. Very likely I'm dead. Okay. Well, very likely we lose. Like, we're losing to a couple different things there. Let's bring this in, and I want to bring in the Dispels. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut the Glass Blowers. I think I can cut... Actually, no, I got to cut the Vessels. Cut a combination of these. I don't want to cut too many of my energy enablers because I really need those to make the deck function. I think I'm actually going to bring in the negates. Yeah. Okay. We'll run with this. So what I'm hoping for here, and this is, pretty indicative of how this deck probably matches up against the red ones. We're really just hoping to stay ahead for as long as possible. And it's hard to match up there. So I actually think I need to fire off the Glassblower's Puzzle Knot here. I am really incentivized to hit my... Excuse me. I think I really think I'm incentivized to try to hit the turn 4 Marvel. I don't think there's many other options for this deck besides hitting that and that only. Yeah, kind of knew, that I was gonna be eating the Smuggler's Copter on the back end, but I really want the negates for the burn in the late game. Okay. Well, So I need one more energy and I'm golden. So from here, I would expect my opponent to play another creature, probably crew the Copter. If they're really feeling froggy, they'll also run out of Bushmaster or Bushwhacker, Reckless. Is that it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So take 2 here, still be well ahead of, the curve. We're going to pass with mana up here, actually. So I'm going to have to harness lightning the smuggler's copter. Which doesn't really net me any energy, but that's okay. Alright, we'll take 2. Okay, well, hopefully they don't have an answer for this. If they don't, we get a nice stop in our upkeep. Hopefully they don't have the removal spell here. They might have the Bushwhacker, which would be about as bad. Yeah, getting wrecked by Bushwhackers. I got bushwhacked real bad at the Open as well, playing vehicles. Lost a couple matchups to the Whacker. That's a tough one. I'm at 2. Jeez. So, can I take this here? And I think the answer is no. So I actually have to find the Emrakul. Yeah, and then force you to attack in with something you maybe don't want to. Well, show me a 13? Yeah, because... Oh, well. So this at least keeps me alive. Like, it's not great. It's gonna kill everything. Alright. Good upkeep. So if I don't get burnt out here, we'll be okay. But I expect to get burnt out here. Or fleet wheeled or something. Yep. Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, it's neat and everything with what the deck can do, but this is exactly what I expect from a combo deck in a mono red format. Like, turn 4, you throw the Marvel in play, and it's like, congratulations, it's not good enough. That was fun. It was interesting. Let's go through the next 4 matches. Maybe we can actually win one. Probably play a little bit better as we move along. But a couple things we did notice: K return still kills a lot of stuff out of the red decks. Don't forget it. This is Ketter with Hot Takes. Join me for match 2 here in just a minute.